What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're going to be drawing Koala Nita from Brawl Stars. Now we're going to get started in the center of our page with the bottom edge of the muzzle. So we're going to start on the left side. We're going to draw a curve that comes down in the middle and then back up on the right side. Then we're going to connect the ends with a half circle. Let's start back on the left, curve all the way up towards the top. We're just going to bring that back down on the right. Let's add the nose to the center of the muzzle. At the very top, we start with a curve from left, going up, and then down on the right. Let's round out the side of the nose. So back on the left, we're going to curve down, and then bend that in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Coming down, then bending that in. Then we're going to add the nostrils. From the left, we're going to curve in, and then down. We're going to leave a little gap in the center. And we'll close off the bottom with a straight line. And then from the bottom corners of the nostril, we're going to curve down and then out towards the bottom of the muzzle. Let's continue working down with the face. Over on the left side, we're going to draw an angled line. On the outside, we're going to draw a straight angled line coming down and in just underneath the bottom edge of the muzzle. We're going to leave a gap and do the same thing on the right. So we're going to line this up, angle up, and out. Now we're going to draw on the bottom of the eye. Starting from the left side, we draw a half circle, going down and back up on the inside. We'll do the same thing on the right. In line with the bottom edge of the eyes, we're going to move to the center and draw the nose. So starting on the left, we'll curve down and then up. I'm going to move down and add a crooked mouth. Starting on the left side, we're going to draw an angled line going up and out. And then we'll connect the ends with a curve, going down and then back up. Let's add in the top row of teeth. Starting over on the left, we're going to curve down and then up. Then we're going to add a point, coming down with an angle and then going straight up. Let's fill the bottom half of the mouth in black. Now we're going to move back up towards the bottom corners of the muzzle and round out the bottom of the head. So let's start on the left side. I'm going to draw a half circle, curving around the eye, and coming down underneath the mouth. And we're just going to pull that up and in on the right side. And we're going to add that shadow across the face. In the center, just up above the nose, we're going to start with a point. From here we're going to curve down and out towards the left side of the head. We'll go back to the center and do the same thing on the right. Curving down underneath the eye and then out. Let's move back up and draw in the koala's eyes. In line with the top of the muzzle, we're going to move over and draw a curve from left to right, going up and then down. Let's line this up on the right and do the same thing. Now I just want to thicken up the eyes. Starting back on the outside, we're going to taper this up so it gets thicker at the top and then bend that back in towards the inside. And then we're going to fill the eyes in black. Now we're going to trace the eyes along the outside. So let's start on the left. We're going to curve up towards the top and then down on the inside. We just want to round out the corners. Going down and up. Go up and then back down on the inside. And we'll round out the inside of the trim. Let's do the same thing over on the right. Now going back down towards the bottom corner of the muzzle, we're going to curve down and then up towards the side of the eye. So start up here on the left, come down, round this out, and then go up, right to the side of the eye. Let's do the same thing on the right. Coming down, and then bending that back up. Then we're going to connect these lines with a curve going up above the eyes. So let's start on the left side, curve up, toward the top. We'll bend that back down on the right side. And then we're going to add 2 stitches in the center of the head. Let's start at the bottom. Start with a curve, going up and then down. We're going to round out the ends, almost like drawing a bracket. And then we'll close off the top with that same curve. Let's fill that stitch in black. Now I'm going to go up and draw that same thing. Let's start with that bottom curve. Round up the ends. And then we'll close off the top. And then again, we're going to fill that in black. Now going back up towards the top of the head, we're going to draw a straight line coming all the way down towards the top center of the muzzle. Let's add one more stitch along the top. Over on the left side, we're going to curve up, and then down on the right, and we'll fill that in black. Now I want to add some fur along the side of the head. So we start over on the left side, curve out, and we're going to bend that in. Let's line this up on the right and do the same thing, curving out and then bending that in. Let's add a point, curving up and in with a short line. And we're going to draw another one, curving down and in toward the side of the head. Add one more small point, just bending this out. And we'll pull that down and in behind the side of the head. Now we're going to draw two half circles on the side of the head for the ears. Let's start at the top of the fur. Start by curving out, rounding out the ear, and pulling that down and then in. Let's do the same thing on the right. So we're going to line up the top, curve up, rounding out the ear, and coming down and in. Then we're going to add some fur along the inside. Let's start on the left, curve up and out. Line this up on the right, do the same thing. I'll taper that down and then in with a short line. I'm just going to curve this out and then down toward the side of the ear. Bending that down on the side, do the same thing on the right. Okay, so we completed the head. Let's work our way down the body. We're going to start with those two large paws on the side of the shoulders first. So over on the left, just underneath the head, we're going to curve down and then out. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. Now we're going to draw the first claw. Starting from here, we're going to curve up, come down, and now we're going to bend that in. And do the same thing on the right. Curving up, down, then in. Now we're going to connect the bottom of the claw to the top with a curve. Bending this out and back in towards the top. Now we're going to stack two more claws on the outside. Let's start on the outside, curve up, and then bend that down and in. And we'll go up and tuck that in underneath. Let's do the same thing on the right. Curving up, come down and in, and tuck that in. Let's do that one more time. And then from the outside of the claw, we curve out and bend that up underneath the head. Let's round out the side of the body. Underneath the first claw, we curve out and down towards the hip on both sides. And we'll connect the hips with a curve. Coming down and then back up. I'm going to step up and draw that same curve at the top of the belt. Let's add a large circle in the center of the body. Starting in the middle, curve around toward the bottom, and back up towards the top. And then we're going to add two straps. Starting on the left side, angle up and out, go to the right, do the same thing. I'm just going to thicken this up, just tracing that same angle line along the outside. And then we're going to draw the shirt going across the body. Let's start just up above the top of the belt, curve it over towards the right and up in behind the circle, continue along the top towards the right. Now we're going to go down to the hips and draw two angle lines coming down and out. Bottom. I'm just going to pull this down and in towards the center. Let's start on the left. Go straight down and then in. And we're going to go up towards the right. Now I just want to trace these two lines on the top. Come down along the top and up on the right. Now from this point, we're going to step over towards the left, curve out and down towards the left heel, move over towards the right, and do the same thing. And then we're going to round out the bottom of the feet. Starting from the heel, we curve down and up towards the toes. Let's go back to the left side. I'm going to round out the top of the foot. I'm going to curve up and then in with a short line. Let's want to add a fold. From here, we're going to curve in and then down, aiming towards the heel, but we're only going to go about halfway. Let's go back up towards the outside corner of the skirt. I'm going to step in, curve down, and then in toward the top point of the foot. And then from the top of the foot, we're going to step up, curve down, and up toward the inside of the leg. Line this up on the right, and do the same thing. Now let's move up and draw on the arms. We're going to start right where the claw meets the side of the body, curve out, and then down towards the wrist. Do the same thing on the right side. Now I'm going to draw in the thumb. From the wrist, we're going to draw a small half circle, curving in, and then back out. At the end of the thumb, draw a bracket. Let's do the same thing on the right, curving in, and out. We'll add the bracket. Now we're going to add 3 fingers on either side. Starting from the bottom curve of the thumb, go down, and then bend that up around the bracket. Step down, curve down and up the second finger. Now along the side, we'll curve out the third finger, come up, and then in behind that claw. Let's do the same thing on the right. Start with the first finger, second, and then the third finger is going to go all the way around and in behind the claw. And that's pretty much it. There's Koala Nita from Brawl Stars. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and check out my Brawl Stars playlist. I'll leave the link down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.